Here we go. I am going to mute myself for the next 5 or so minutes. But remember, everybody in the room, we are live on Zoom. Luke Lomax.
Yes, sir.
Can you call Luke, not Luke,
Andrew.
Andrew, and remind him?
Sure.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. He is logging on as we speak right now.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for attending. This is the July 22nd, 2023 meeting of the Libertarian Party of Indiana State Central Committee. The time is 10:30. This meeting is called to order. Mr. Secretary, if you are ready to call the roll.
Chair Mann,
Here.
the vice chair seat is currently vacant. Secretary Schultz is here. Treasurer Schulteis.
Here.
Political Copeland. Here. IT Hagerman. Here. Membership Alexander.
Here.
Communications Smith.
Here.
D1 Schick. Here. D2 Kopilar.
Here.
D3 Avery.
Here.
D4 Lundy.
Here.
D5 Schilling.
Here.
D6 Lomax.
Present.
D7 Johnson. Here. D8 Engelberg. Here. D9 Present. 16 voting members present, including yourself, and I see two guests, Mr. Birch and outgoing vice chair.
Let the record reflect that Mr. Hirsch is the LNC Region 3 alternate.
Right.
All right. If we didn't have the vacancy in the vice chair position, even though the outgoing vice chair is here today, we would have perfect attendance. So technically, I think we do have perfect attendance. That's the first one we've had. So congratulations, everybody. Let's try to do this every time. All right. Adoption of the agenda. Before we move to adopt the agenda, I would accept a motion to table the district rep job description, which is under unfinished business, to table that to the next meeting. But in the interim, I would be setting up a working committee to compile the district job descriptions that have been submitted at this time. It's moved by Mr. Hagerman.
Second.
Seconded. Is there any objection? Okay, hearing no objection, that item is tabled to the next meeting with the standing committee. Are there any other amendments or additions to the agenda?
Mr. Chair,
Mr. Schulteis.
may I have 5 minutes of executive session at a portion that is deemed appropriate?
I will accept that motion as an order. Is there a second? Seconded by Mr. Schick. Is there any objection to adding 5 minutes to the executive session for Mr. Schulteis? Hearing no objection, that is added.
To when?
Executive session, let's do it. Let's do it the first thing of the executive session. Any other additions or amendments? Hearing none, is there any objection to the agenda as amended? Seeing no objections, the agenda is adopted. Let's look at the list. Who do I want to pick on this time? Mr. Johnson, can you be the timekeeper? It's a thankless job that we'll ignore, so don't worry too much about it. Okay. First on the agenda is a report from the chair. A couple of things that we've had going on. Been working pretty closely with Kristen Alexander, membership director. We've gotten all of the cards and pins sent out to current members. We've got a process in place now. New cards, new pins for either new members or renewals will go out the first week of the month. So we're processing those the first week of the month. Staying on the topic of membership, the triple membership. Our treasurer now has a list of all of the counties and the back payments that are due to the counties for the triple membership report or for the triple membership payments. Several counties do not have their payment information available to the treasurer, and the treasurer needs that to send the payment because we're not going to be chasing down checks. We already said that at the beginning of the year. So everybody needs to get with their county parties to make sure that their banking information is correct with the treasurer. He has reached out to quite a few. There are quite a few who have not responded to him. He hasn't. The checking of it that I did this morning, payments have not been sent yet, but I am sure that Mr. Schulteis will have those payments sent or scheduled to be sent before Monday. All right, Mr. Schulteis. Mr. Schulteis, for a brief question or comment.
As mentioned by the chair, I am missing payment information for quite a few counties. So those counties that I do have information, they should receive their funds either Monday or Tuesday, depending on when the bank processes the payment.
As part of that, this process, the membership director has been looped into that Google document between me and the treasurer, so that the membership director can then update each month when the automatic membership report for the triple members comes out, can update a new tab showing the new payouts due to the county affiliates. And then Mr. Schulteis will then make those payments immediately. The same time we make the payments to national for the triple members being paid to national, that same time the treasurer will make the payments to the county parties. Again, if we have their payment information on file. If we don't, then they just gotta wait. Ms. Avery. Once he completes it, I will. We're not going to give access to it, to the document, because it has the information in it. But we will make that list available to the district reps so that you can see which ones we need. We do have Allen County. I will tell you that. There's been a lot of disappointment that we don't have candidates in certain places. We had, since our last meeting, I think my last count was 17 people contact me directly after the deadline to file, which was great, which is awesome. I have forwarded each and every one of those people on to both their district rep and their county chair, if they have a county chair. And so far, I have not seen any response from them or responding to my email that said, "You're too late, buddy." And, you know, a couple people who got really hostile with me. And I'm like, it's not my fault. It's the state law. I'd be happy to nominate you, but it's the law. You're done. But even prior to that, that last couple of days beforehand, we had quite a few people reach out. But yeah, so there was a lot of that going on the last, basically the 2 weeks, the week before and the week after the filing deadline. I'm not going to talk too much about it because I'd rather it be in the District 3 report, but I will say that Randolph County has 5 candidates on the ballot this year, which is amazing for them. That's great. And so we do have quite a few great candidates. We're going to talk about them a couple later on in new business, but we do need better recruitment, and I'm hoping that the things that we're going to do this fall and early winter will help us recruit a good slate of candidates up and down the ticket for 2024. So that's going to be one of my big focuses, is doing the candidate recruitment so that we have a larger slate in 2024. Ms. Avery.
Is there a difference in running for small towns?
There is. It's complicated. It's a seriously complicated process that I can't comment on. Okay, we can talk offline about that. But it is a very complicated, convoluted process, and I think the deadline for that, if it's like August 25th or something, but it's like late in August. But yeah, we can talk offline about that. Any other, there's been a lot of other stuff, but a lot of it's stuff we're gonna have to talk about in executive session. Nothing bad, but it's all tech related and or lawsuits related and things like that. Some good news in there. Any questions for the chair? Any comments? Okay, hearing none, I'm going to turn it over bittersweetly to Tanya Hudson here to give her outgoing vice chair report.
My journey as vice chair of the LPIN started before the LPIN annual convention on March 4th. I attended several county meetings ahead of the convention, including Allen County and Fort Wayne back in January. The night before I became vice chair, I attended a private event at a karaoke bar where Christy Avery and I sang a duo. Liz chimed in with us briefly, but us two gals sang Chuck Berry's My Ding-a-Ling, and that was a lot of fun. The next day, our state convention was very nice and organized. It was good to see some of our fellow members pull together with the money to make our keynote speaker, Jason Straw, a lifetime member. He was elated and still is. March 19th, I attended Vanderburgh County's annual convention where Michael Daugherty announced his run for mayor of Evansville. March 22nd, I gave a speech at the iNormal rally in Bloomington on the courthouse lawn. The Libertarian Party of Monroe County had a booth there, which was manned by Sidney Bloom. April 8th, District 5, Service Saturday in Hamilton County. Lori Schillings organized a large group to hit all the food pantry distribution sites. We cleaned and restocked them, and that is a great public service program. April 26th, Owen County Monthly Meetup in Spencer. They meet at a Burger King, and this is the one and only fast food restaurant hamburger place that I've been to that has an actual conference room. This Burger King literally has a conference room. May 3rd, the Brown County Monthly Meeting at the Sycamore Club. May 4th, Orange County Monthly Meetup. At that time, they only had 2 members, the chair and the treasurer. May 13th, District 9, Service Saturday in New Albany, Floyd County, where Jennifer Commissar Kern organized a group of us, including the District 9 rep, Darren Kinzer, and a whole host of others were there to clean up the parks and the VFW sites. May 25th, I attended the Monroe County Annual Convention in Bloomington, where Sidney Bloom became the new county chair. And our LPIN chair was sporting new tattoos, which look great, by the way. June 3rd, I attended a rally at the Indiana State Capitol in Indianapolis, and it was called the Hoosier Summit Against Property Taxes, hosted by WIBC's Kendall and Casey. Don Rainwater was one of the guest speakers. Lucy Britton was there, and Chuck was there. And by the way, I plan for the state capitol to be seeing a lot more of me in the future. June 10th, District 3rd Service Saturday up in DeKalb County, where items were dropped off and the proceeds benefit people who need help with medical bills and health care. June 24th, I attended the e-canvassy class in Mooresville taught by Danny. Then I participated in door knocking for Lundy for town council. July 6th, Orange County meetup where a new member joined the LPIN. So they went from 2 members to 3, which is a 50% increase. Last week, the Libertarian Party of Monroe County had a booth at the 4-H fair. I was able to attend 2 nights. A lot of people did the smallest political quiz each night for a $50 drawing. Both Evan and Darren donated money for those gift cards. July 8th, District 4 Service Saturday was up in Tippecanoe County. We worked at a food finder store in Lafayette and stocked the shelves with food. And it was fitting that we libertarians ended up eating at a restaurant called The Revolution. July 16th, I attended my last District 9 monthly Zoom meeting hosted by the district rep Darren Kinzer for the county chairs in that district. His monthly Zoom meetings with the chairs have been very insightful as they share information with each other on events as well as give each other advice. And I would encourage all district reps to do the same because the unity and camaraderie gained in that is priceless. Since the Libertarian Party of Lawrence County's inception in January of 2021, I have attended every monthly meeting except one and have participated in all county events, fairs, and parades. I will continue to be very active in my local county affiliation as well as participate in other county and district events as much as possible. I will always be a volunteer. I recently posted on Facebook that some members get discouraged because Libertarian candidates don't win enough races. It's important to know that Libertarians have made great strides in getting out our message. Our party has had positive influence on public policy. Our chair has been a great spokesman and a leader in that regard. Many elected officials quite often listen to our reasoning and sometimes adopt our recommendation. We are a force to be reckoned with. No matter where my journey takes me, I will continue to work with all of you as a collective force to spread libertarianism and win the day. Before I step away from the table, I want you to know the hardest thing now for me to do is to give up this 3-ring binder.
I just want to take a minute and say, Tanya, thank you. You've been an exceptional vice chair. You've done everything that you said you would do. You've been very communicative with me. You've been exceptional in this role, but you've been a great ambassador for the party and the movement even before that. And you're going to be missed, but we congratulate you on your journey moving forward. So thank you. You want the copy of the? Mr. Schulteis, are you prepared? I haven't received this tiny slip of paper. So are you prepared to give your treasurer's report? Okay. Any objection to skipping the treasurer's report and then coming back to it? Hearing none, we are skipping it. I'm going to photocopy it and then I'll send you the copy of it. That's okay. I'll give you the note that I have for official resignation notes. Okay. David, you got it.
Especially since Nicole's already on.
So you'd rather table it? Okay. Any objection to tabling the secretary's report until he can locate the email ballot results for the minutes? Hearing no objection, that is tabled. Moving on to the LNC update from Dustin Anna, who is not here, but instead our wonderful Hoosier representative, Mr. Greg Hirsch. Can you give us an LNC update?
Okay, absolutely. Okay, I pointed at LLC early June. Since then, we've had 2 LLC meetings so far. We're going to have the first meeting, the meeting of August 18th, Washington, D.C. Commission hotel for next year. Commission. Washington, D.C. You're all welcome to go. If you'd like to try your house there, I think the afternoon.
I will be there. Yep.
Great. And one of the first things after I got on the LLC was that there was a convention committee, actual convention committee on it. First LLC member Bill, that's why I chose the Bill the 50th spot, also on the convention committee as well. The irony of that is that I the convention committee all the time before that, just as a regular member was passed over. I brought it down at the convention. First things first, as far as some stuff we discussed with the LLC at the last couple of meetings, there's some openings currently on the platform and the convention committee for taking for those. There's also another opening on the convention committee, but that's likely to be built with someone who's on the force. Additionally, that's right here now. It was so likely on the platform for the convention committee. I was supposed to go around and get that in. Apply. One of the things discussed in the last meeting was the potential sale of the LPIN headquarters and get it purchased in other states. That's just ongoing now, there's nothing definite yet. But the bigger discussion on that at the in-person meeting. I think one thing on some point that weekend at the in-person meeting, going to visit the LCN, visit the LCN, going to the farm, and something on LC or not. Take a little bit. What about, my opinion, as far as that goes, as far as selling the headquarters, only if you purchase another building. He's only against selling the headquarters if it needs paying the rent. That would be the whole purpose. They were getting the building to get it. Just hold the building so you can want to pay the rent. Let's reduce expenses and hopefully get a better facility where you can do more. Right. I mean, the current LNC headquarters was a good starting thing, but it's basically a glorified townhome. It's a 3-story townhome. It's not separate. It's not like its own separate thing. And we're also discussing, do we have to keep it in Washington, D.C.? Why not do somewhere else where it's less damn expensive to get it? Those discussions, like I said, are ongoing. National Chair Angela McCarroll just announced that there's going to be some upcoming training going on via Zoom. More details on that are coming. Let's see. Now, also the element we had a Freedom Fest was last week in Memphis, Tennessee. The Libertarian Party had a booth there, which I helped out a little bit of that. And of course, I met Angela in person for the first time. Some of the other people on the committee. And one thing, one of the big questions someone might have been, okay, are these people on the LNC closet Republicans trying to ruin the Libertarian Party? My observation so far is no. Sure, you might have people in the Mises caucus that are closet Republicans. I don't know yet, but I mean, as far as the people in the LNC, I'm not seeing that at this point. I mean, certainly I'm not. I can assure you that damn shit right there. Let's see what else am I missing here. During the in-person meeting we're having this August, there's also going to be a ballot access symposium that Angela announced. And also we're going to have a convention, a national convention committee meeting. So I'm on that committee on that Friday before the main meeting starts. And as far as the convention committee, let me just say that as far as the 2026 convention goes, we had things narrowed down to the top 10. The top 10 cities for the 2026 convention included Indianapolis. We recently narrowed it down to the top 3. And unfortunately, Indianapolis didn't make the cut. The top 3, I'm sure this breaks your heart.
I'm devastated.
Anyway, the top 3 cities for the 2026 convention are Chicago, Grand Rapids, Michigan, and Denver.
Oh, Denver.
So it'll be in one of those 3 places. Out of those 3 places, the convention, the national convention was held in Denver in 2008. It was held in Chicago back in 1991, well before my time at the party. And it's never been held in Grand Rapids. But basically, the LNC at some future point will vote on which of the 3. I mean, of course, next year, 2024 is going to be in Washington, D.C. That will happen. It'll be the weekend in May of Memorial Day weekend, like it always is. Anybody have any questions?
Mr. Hirsch, you mentioned the credentials of platform committee openings.
Yes.
What kind of time commitment is that?
Well, the main time commitment, you have to attend the Zoom meetings. The main thing is you'll be expected to show up at the national convention a few days early because they'll have meetings in preparation before the convention actually starts. If you're able to do that, like get there about 3 days before everybody else arrives.
We have a letter from Hudson, vice chair, about serving on those committees and encouraging for being able to apply. And the application process is now actually officially open. There was problems with it. I got an email, I believe Friday, at the list board. So we're going to be sending that out to encourage for the end to apply.
Oh, and also, and I think that the links as far as convention packages for 2024, the presidential package link is open. We're getting ready to open up the links for all the other packages.
I was going to say that was going to be my thing. I received multiple emails about purchasing a very large presidential package, but yet to see any of the other packages
The other patches that they're,
Or the hotel room block.
okay, okay, both those, I don't have the exact date, but those are getting ready to be released. In fact, you can actually book your room now, you know, it's not been released, you can contact the Hilton and book your room now, which I've already done that.
What's the rate?
What was it? Shit, I'll have to look.
It's not as pricey as you would think for DC, but when you're certainly correct, when they were doing that contract negotiations, it's close.
Yeah,
Yeah. I'm like.
so, yeah. So start saving your money or else.
Get lots of roommates.
If you can put up with that.
They just booked a clean suite there, and it was pre-taxes.
And of course, there are other hotels nearby there too, if you want to book, but get it booked. If you don't know if you're going to the convention yet, you can always book your room early and then cancel it, just to cancel if you're not going. It's never too early to book your hotel.
Yeah.
Okay, the presidential package is $1,500, the others, I don't know the exact.
Any other questions for Mr. Hirsch? Mr. Schultz?
Does the convention committee feel that they will have any expenses when any of it does? Well,
Okay, well, and I was just appointed to the convention committee just recently, so as far as that, I don't.
It's been a criticism that typically a year ago, you should have had bookings up for 2024, in 2026, 2028 should already confirm the bookings.
right.
So it is definitely paying. However, all of the, knowing the national party, the bylaws and policy manual, all of the revenue, ticket sales, vendor spaces, things like that, packages are segregated now. It can't be appropriated by the rest of the LPIN for other budgets. They have to pay those bills to the convention first. Any other questions for Mr. Hirsch? Okay, hearing none, moving on to Mr. I can't see the thing. Is it Mr. Cope, the political director? 2 minutes.
I've not had a great deal of things going on. I have gotten with Michael Pottery out of Evansville and gotten him and a few volunteers trained up on the e-canvasser and portioned the data that Danny had loaded into blog books. I've been working with a candidate out of Marion County, trying to give her guidance as this is her first run for office. And I've been trying to set up time for our candidate, Melody Love, to get her and volunteers trained. I am holding my weekends as quickly as I can, and anytime after my job on weekdays to have Zoom meeting trainings with candidates who are wanting to get trained on the e-canvasser app. They just need to make themselves known to me, and I will make time available for them. That's essentially what I've been up to.
Any questions for Mr. Copeland? Okay, hearing. Communications, Mr. Schmidt.
Yeah, hi, and just a quick update. There hasn't been a lot recently, but one thing I'd like to do is just let everybody know to pass along what you're doing. I think especially as we get into the election season, candidate support is going to be a big part of my job. So and if there are specific media outlets that are friendly to us that you want me to make sure that we get in touch with, absolutely let me know that, but let me know what you're doing. We can send out things as far as our service Saturdays is a good way to get some earned media. I just need to know what's going on and where we're doing it. And then possibly if we can get some photos and a wrap up as well, I can send those out. Anything candidate support wise, or also issue advocacy. I know in the past we had an op-ed group, and I have reached out to a couple of people to be a part of that, where we can send out monthly or bi-monthly op-eds to statewide newspapers so that we can advocate for issues that are important to libertarians. And also, and I'll admit that I probably should have done something on this and did not. I was kind of juggling about 15 balls in the air at any given time. During the Supreme Court session, we, and when major issues pop up, major legislation here in the state, having a response to that to be able to send out is something I'd like to do as well. But as far as what you can help with right now is candidate support. Get your releases. Let me know what you're doing, and any special events or any stances or anything you want to get out in the media, let me know, and I will pass that. I'll get it thrown into a press release format and get it sent out. And as well, I'd like to beef up our social media presence. I know, Evan, I think you have reached out to Kenneth Fitzlaff. I have too, with the goal of maybe having him help us out as he did with the CENIAC campaign last fall and did a great job with. So that's really all I have. So thank you.
I will say that Ken actually was part of our social media team before the U.S. Senate campaign, and he did an amazing job. It was him and Liz Coquillard were really creating a lot of posts, and then it was basically just me and Christy Avery approving them. Did you not? Oh, okay. Okay, so it was all me then. That's true. I've asked Ken, he has tentatively said yes, but we need to have another conversation about it to go over the expectations. And this is a conversation with me and Andrew and Ken about expectations, timelines, kind of how we want everything to run, and then getting him looped back into the system. Also, Andrew, if you ping me later today, like, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, actually just remind me when the meeting's over and I will send you the login credentials that you need.
Okay, thank you.
But Andrew's been doing a great job. I've sent him a couple of things, topics to have position pieces and op-eds written on, and he's done a fantastic job. And we've been able to get those out. So I highly recommend it. And we can do it even when we're sending it out. Remember, we have the agility system. So it looks like it's coming from your county party or your candidate. If we have all of the information we need and the logos and everything. We did it for Jeff's campaign, the CENIAC campaign. We've done it for Allen County. I think we did it for Hamilton County on one press release that we sent out for you. It looks like it came from the county party or from the candidate. It doesn't look like it came from the LPIN. So they're communicating directly back to you when they're handling the op-ed or the press release.
It does take time to set that up. So if it's taking
Yep.
time to set that up now, you need it.
Yep.
It's already like your templates, everything.
Yep. Because if you send us something today and say, I need this to go out today, one, we need 24 hours. But even if you said, hey, I need this to go out Monday, if we don't already have a template set up for you, it's going to take longer than that. Your emergency, or is it your piss poor planning doesn't.
Unless you're planning on your part, does not constitute
An emergency.
Yeah, that's it.
I would love for us to get a communications meeting on the books and just be able to, talk about the mechanisms that we have in place. That would be awesome.
Okay, well, we just did. Those are all the communications mechanisms we have in place, social media and, but point taken. Moving on to Tech Director, Mr. Hagerman.
So keeping Wild Apricot updated, thanks to membership director, number of people in Wild Apricot continues to shrink. I have been fixing events for Larry Silver's campaign, keep them on the LPIN events page. And I sent him some instructions on what I'm doing. So he thinks he'll be able to do those himself in the future, although I'm still happy to fix them if they don't show up. And I've updated all of our new candidates and got all their pages set up. And I've updated pretty much everything anyone has said that this website needs to be updated. I've just updated. It's in my report.
Okay. Any questions for Mr. Hageman? Okay, hearing none. Mr. Alexander, motion.
So I don't know if you guys saw last month, we did drop down a little this month in membership, but we are still signing up new members. So that's positive. It's member retention that we need to work on. So going forward, when that happens, I'll be CCing county chairs and district reps. So we can hit them on a more personal level instead of somebody from the state. They might know you. We're still haggling with national and the member thing. Evan's going next month, and hopefully being in person gets them to pay attention to our words. And District 4 has the most members and the most memberships, but District 9 is super close. We have 519 members and 586 memberships, but that's actually +2. Dan Drexler is going to be an LPIN member for the first time in a very long time. And there was another member. It's not Dan Drexler. Oh my God.
We saw Dan at Mark Rutherford, the memorial for Mark Rutherford's mother. And he commented about it, and we're like, no, man, your membership lapsed a long time ago. So he cashed to the treasurer, who was also there. But he's now he's a triple member. So
yeah, but it'll be
+2.
21 actually, and maybe 8.
I know.
A member is a person. I have 4 memberships.
Oh.
Lifetime triple.
you only count on
Triple in
triple,
1994, if you remember.
but if you have, lifetime triple.
Yeah.
We're collecting money in
94.
586 memberships, but only 519 voting members.
District 1, Mr. Schick.
No real change. Lake County continues to keep their paperwork up, but doesn't have any meetings. LaPorte County has 2 meetings a month, one for officers and one for just a general meetup for everybody, including they invite Democrats and Republicans to their monthly meetups. In Porter County, it continues to do a good job of running things and is planning the October Saturday event. And that's really all I have. Any questions?
All right, any questions for Mr. Schick? Nope, hearing none. We'll to Ms. Cook for District 2.
Okay. Kosciuszko County continues to hold their monthly meetings at Haplor Brewery. They are also doing third Friday booths every month in Warsaw, and they do trivia night every Thursday at Haplor Brewery. They're still winning in Kosciuszko. Elkhart County continues to hold monthly meetings at the Goshen Public Library on the second Saturday of each month. And 2 members are attending the regional training next weekend in Ohio. Members in Elkhart County are currently working on a Cannabis is Food First initiative. In the 2018 Farm Bill, we were provided access again to hemp. This has led to hemp becoming a commodity in many forms, including food and food additives. With emerging research of the human endocannabinoid system, we would like the USDA to provide the nutritional value of every aspect of the plant, proving that it is a foundational food and classifying it as such. We intend to protect the right to consume cannabis for nutrition, educate consumers of the nutritional value of cannabis, and effectively destigmatize the plant. Currently, we are building a team for this initiative. Our work in the last couple of months has been speaking with researchers, labs, universities, the FDA, and the USDA to line up the project. Because this avenue to legalization has never been explored, everyone we have spoken to is exciting and willing, even those within the USDA. Everything is in place, but marketing and funding the nutritional research. With the FDA trying to regulate CBD and other cannabinoids, it is imperative that we act now to protect cannabis as a food. Another project currently being worked on by members in Elkhart County is the pilot hemp educational mentorship program. This pilot program is in partnership with the Purdue Extension Agronomy, Indiana USDA, FFA, as well as a few hemp farms across the state to educate our future farmers of every aspect of cannabis as a growing commodity in our state. If you go to our advocacy website and provide your contact information, we will be sending out a report with updates of our efforts. St. Joseph County is still holding their monthly meetings at Evil Check Brewery, and this week found success with a Viewpoint article that was picked up by several news sources, including the South Bend Tribune, which you can read, and that was added to the report. So you can read their article. It's posted on their website. Tim was the one that wrote it, and it got picked up by Real News Michiana. The South Bend Tribune also reran an Indy Star article that had Donald Rainwater in it. So we had 2 libertarian articles in the same newspaper this week, which is cool. But anyway, Tim's having a lot of success writing articles. So we should definitely use him with our communications and just keep, we've got a good resource with him. So that's all I have for this month.
Thank you, Liz. That's time. Was there any questions for Liz? Okay, hearing none. Miss Avery, District 3.
Right, we've been busy with multiple events over the last couple of months. Whitley County has participated in local First Friday events, marched in a parade, and tabled at the county fair. Allen County manned a booth at the county fair and is tabling today at Pride Fest, where I'm going after this meeting is over and I drive 3.5 hours back. Randolph County recently formed a committee to work on service projects around the county, so that's exciting. And they're planning a booth at a festival in the fall. And I also recently learned that Randolph has 5 candidates that will be on the ballot in the fall, a mayoral candidate and 4 separate city district council spots. My report has photos, so I will forward that to you all so you can glorify in my beautiful photos. A couple of our Allen County members, or no, not Allen County, but Allen County and DeKalb County participated with our friends in Indiana Normal at the Three Rivers Festival Parade, and that was well received. Once again, Liz will be excited about that. The float actually had like a bong on it, and the rain had stopped right before the parade started, so we could turn the fog machine on so smoke would come out of the top of the bong. Oh. All right, any questions?
Any questions for Ms. Avery? Hearing none, moving on to District 4, Mr. Lund.
Hendricks County had their Pride event last month. It went very well. They continue to put together these events, and for Young County, they're doing very well in getting these events put together and talking to people. So I'm proud of them. Morgan County had their Get Out the Boat event, which was meagerly attended by Lori and Tanya, and that's it. Eric did show up late. So if you want training, it's available. You just have to show up. We have 6 scheduled tabling events coming up. One of those is in conjunction with Johnson County. We're doing a partnership because the Morgantown's right on the border. My campaign is now officially the only contested race in Morgan County. At this point, we've hit roughly 1,400 doors. Tippecanoe County service Saturday went very well. Tanya was there, and we had, I think, 8 participants, and it's always a good time. It's always a great event, and we were really happy with that. This week, Tippecanoe County is running their 4-H fair, which, so those of you who do your county fairs know, it's very hard to staff your booth for an entire week. So please contact Tippecanoe County if you have some free time, a night off, you can work the shift. They do need volunteers. So if you're in the area and you want to, throw down with them, just give them a call and they will totally put you to work. And that's about it, other than Boone and Putnam are still shaky. We're still working on it.
Two side notes. One, I did get an email from Steve Mayoris about the trip membership.
I'll touch base with them.
Reconnect. We do not have.
Okay.
Second thing is the bigger way to leave what you said about Morgan County is that the Libertarian Party of Morgan County officially is running more candidates than the Democrat Party.
Also true.
And forcing them to actually have an election.
Yeah. But yeah. Any questions for Mr. Lund?
In non-libertarian circles, that is not crazy.
All right, hearing none. Ms. Lori Shillings for District 5.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Hamilton County did have a wonderful outreach at Carmel Fest in July. We had almost 500 quizzes that were taken. About 50 new contacts were added to our newsletter list. With hopeful new interest in membership, we'll see. Our new county website, which is actually the old county website, hamiltonlpin.org, is finally functional. I spent some time this past month making it operational, getting some information there. We do have an events listing and then also a donation link, which is there. Finally, we got our stripes approved. Yay! Our next meeting will be Wednesday, August 16th at 6:30 at Pinheads and Fishers. Everyone is welcome to attend. Live trivia to follow. Grant County had Clayton is the only Libertarian candidate running, and he is running unopposed for his city council race. So he will be elected in November. Congratulations, Clayton. He said he did have a brief scare thinking that someone was illegally running as a Libertarian, but it was confirmed that that individual was in fact running as an independent. Their next big event will be a motorcycle rally in September 22nd, 24th, where they'll have their annual booth. Please plan on attending and helping where possible. I don't have any other information from other counties in my district. Membership levels, we have dropped a few since we didn't have a June meeting. We've lost 3 members since May over the course of a couple different counties. So, yep. We'll have to try to touch base with those.
Do better, Hamilton County.
Thank you. We'll try. Hamilton County didn't lose membership.
Oh, it was just a district wide.
Right. Just wanted to keep that up. And that's all I have today. I received the rest of my
I can't remember.
His brain won't let it come out.
Now, I'll put him to be friends with. Because it's gonna be a headache to take care of a person from the Libertarian, but the county clerk and I had great laugh about it. I was able to tear up my very carefully worded need better. It's like, I really don't want to. So let's figure this out. And
Nice.
That is always
What's your website? HamiltonLPIN.org. Okay.
Yeah, I don't remember where it was. Any questions for Ms. Shillings? Okay, hearing none. District 6, Mr. Lomax on Zoom.
Okay, so don't have a lot to report as far as membership. The county chairs and treasurers in both Rush and Henry County did renew this month. So they are still active members, triple members, although I can't reach them through email or Facebook. So still trying to bridge that gap. But we did have a reasonably successful event at the 4-H fair, collected enough donations to pay for a booth for an entire week in the city of Greenfield. That was with Larry Silver's campaign for mayor in Greenfield also. I don't have the exact numbers on how many contacts that we got, but we had probably 70 people fill out a world's smallest political quiz. So we'll be putting those contacts into CRM between Larry and myself. We are gearing up for 3 different debates that the League of Women Voters in Hancock County are going to hold over the course of this year's election cycle for mayor. And the Democratic candidate has already confirmed. The Republican candidate has not fully confirmed yet, but they are confident that the Republican will be there as well. We had some good interaction with a couple of the city council members while we were at the 4-H booth in Riley Days. We actually got 2 of them that normally vote yes on tax abatements to vote no on tax abatements. The votes still went the other way because those were the only two opposing votes in the council meeting. But Larry was just a trooper and just wouldn't get off of the guys, and eventually convinced them to go ahead and change their vote in the interest of the people of Hancock County and of Greenfield. So that was awesome. I want to give a big shout out to Larry Silver. Also, he staffed that booth every single day. He did have a couple of days that I was there and helped out from 5 to 9. And a couple of our other members, Andrew and John and Travis Chittum and Brad Simpson, they all stepped in and helped out where they could. But Larry was there every day from open to close at a 4-H fair in Hancock County. So big props to Larry. He's out knocking doors today. We are going to try to get his information that he's got converted over into eCanvasser once we meet up with Paul and figure out how to get that stuff in. So Paul, when you know your availability for the coming month or two, if you could reach out to us in that Facebook chat and just let us know when we should make ourselves available so that we can meet up with you and get that training on eCanvasser. We are also trying to get a town hall meeting together for Larry's mayoral race in Hancock County. That's going to be at the Greenfield Public Library on McKenzie Road, but we don't have a date on that yet. The space is extremely inexpensive to rent and gives us a lot of capabilities there. So depending on what kind of response we get and how many questions we get, and how many engaged viewers we get, we have a bunch of different options to do in that room because it's a very large room. So
It's time.
Do what?
That's time.
Okay, yeah, that's really it for me. So I'll go ahead and end my report now.
All right, thank you, Mr. Lomax. There was an additional item that's a future thing that was in Mr. Lomax's written report, which he did send to the entire SCC. So please go ahead and take a look at that so that you can be prepared. I feel like that request, if needed, will be made at the next meeting. Do remember, Mr. Lomax, to submit that request in writing to the chair prior to the meeting so that I can clean it up for you and then send it out as a motion to be considered in advance. District 7, Mr. Johnson.
Yep, we've moved our monthly meetings from the Antelope Club to Ralston's downtown, but we're interested in kind of expanding it to different areas of Marion County. Our most recent event was the Juneteenth event that I brought up last time. We've got about 30 to 50 signups that we need to put in the CRM system. For the most part, we're just focused on membership. And so we've got an updated list, parsed it out into inactive membership and then also national only members, and then assigned those groups out. So I just need to share the shared Excel sheet with the rest of the group, but we have it all divvied out and that kind of stuff. Besides membership, we're focusing on updating the website and then also helping our 2 candidates. So besides that, not a lot of other events going on. Will be Halloween will probably be our next largest event. But for the most part, it's just membership, updating the website, helping out the candidates, and just improving our overall outreach, trying to at least, to use Danny's words, meeting the minimum requirements that are needed. This we've kind of been lacking. So yeah, that's the basic update for Marion County. That would be Libby. What's Libby's last name?
Libby Glass or Elizabeth Glass for the 13th, and Margaret Bolster.
Team, I think.
Yes. That's
Yeah. Have they both filled out the candidate form?
I'm working on getting.
Let's get that right away because I've received tons of requests about who's running in Marion County. The very big disappointment is that there's no mail. I've received probably 24 calls at the day after the filing deadline when Shriver, however he says his name, walked back everything that he said about being pro 2A to basically saying, yeah, we should start banning semi-automatic weapons in Indianapolis.
And get rid of constitutional carry.
Yeah. So There were lots of calls about that and people wanting to know why we didn't have a mayoral candidate in the largest city in the state. So that was. They did after the filing deadline.
He would be a mayoral candidate.
No, but he could probably help. All right, any,
Chris, do you think he would be a member? Because he's not a current member at the moment.
that's true.
He just had a kid. He can't afford membership.
Okay.
We can find him a sponsor.
Yes.
Oh, I'll pay him.
I will say that he's joined several times and then lapsed several times, and it always requires talking to him in person and being like, you know, you're not a member anymore. And then he rejoins.
Process will fix that, hasn't it?
He turns it off immediately after. I will point that out.
I know we're doing like the LPI thing for candidate recruitment, but
Maybe.
Offline. I
Talk
talked to
about
you
that.
recruiting.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I'll do that.
Yep. Actually, that's probably something that we should do as set up sometime soon is a candidate recruitment planning session for the districts. One, knowing what seats you have in your district, and two, how are ways that we can use the technology that we have and the data that we have to find candidates and what to talk to them about to get them to run, and then what the process is for them to start running and to seek the nomination at the 2024 convention. With that, District 8, Mr. Adrian Engelberth.
So my update is, we're working on getting the 8th district reorganized. I'll be planning a convention sometime in the fall before the filing deadline, trying to get everything straightened out. We know that we have a mayor right in Evansville. Due to personal issues, I have not been involved trying to keep track of that campaign, so I have no idea how that's going. But I do know Vandenberg County is very active on Discord planning events. That is very good news. They're pushing very hard. That much I do know. The actual what is going on. Owen County is very active up in their area. Du Bois County, where I'm at, we just finished our 4-H fair, and it is open for all people here who are listening. We have Don Rainwater coming to speak August 12th for a lunch event starting at 11:30. We are serving lunch. We're having a caterer come in, and it's $25 a ticket. It's also a fundraiser. So when we had a lot of interest at the 4-H fair of non-members who would be willing to pay tickets, just waiting for the notice of the email that they're going to pay, because at our fair we're not allowed to take money. So we're waiting to hear back. Hopefully.
Question about that. This is a fundraiser for the county party?
Yes.
Okay. Is it up on the state party website?
We haven't put it up there yet. We just got final confirmation of everything yesterday.
Okay. And it's for August 16th or August
12th.
10th? The 12th.
Saturday lunch.
Okay. I would also recommend sending out an email blast. If you need help writing the email blast, talk to Andrew Smith, comms@lpin.org.
Okay.
And then we can help send that out to all of the contacts within the area, the county surrounding too, not just Du Bois, but around there as well, all of the contacts to try to get them to come. Yeah, because you're running low on time to get those ticket sales.
Yeah.
But we would be happy to help push that. Also, if you create a Facebook event, be sure to tag the LPIN as a co-host. Then it will show up on the state party's feed as well.
Okay.
Cool. Anything else, Mr. Ingram? Vandenberg County needs to get their banking information to the treasurer. He's reached out multiple times and hasn't gotten a response back yet. And they have asked about funds being transferred, but have not responded to actually giving us the information. Is that not true, Mr. Schultes?
The treasurer would recommend counties not close their bank accounts if they were wanting to
Yeah.
receive funds from the state.
Yeah.
They do,
The last.
Electronic.
yeah, so it's balance bank and they never provided updated.
We actually owe, from the last term, we did a sponsored event in Vanderburgh County, and the state party agreed to reimburse $150 for that. Well, they closed their bank account and we couldn't send them the money. And even if we had sent them a check, they didn't have a way to cash the check. So that is a problem, and we would like to get that debt off our books, considering they have complained about not receiving it. So,
Here's why.
yeah, here's why. Have a bank account. Any other questions about District 8? Okay, hearing none. District 9, Mr. Darren Kinzer.
Sure. The district continues to hold its monthly district call. We try to do it on the second Sunday. Sometimes it falls on the third, my schedule. A lot of people do try to attend. In Floyd County, we have 3 candidates there still. One had to drop out, so we did have 4. One had to drop. I still ain't got an answer on what happened there. I want to make him decide when it's sent down, but 3 solid candidates. They're out door knocking, trying to talk to people every single day. They're going to be at Harvest Homecoming October 12th through the 15th. And they're also wanting to have a get out the vote day on September 30th. I think they've reached out to all as well, possibly on that. Clark County, of course, still holds its monthly meetings. They're going to celebrate August 24th through 26th. 2 candidates. Yes. Greg and Russell. Yes. Are both running. The Liberty Loves Food Bank is still active twice a month. It's going on right now. It's going on today. Jackson County, I'm trying to work with Jackson County members to get meetings active again there. It's really hard. I know Hippie Rick wants to get it active down there, and it's just working with Craig and then we try to get that done. Let's see, Brown and Jefferson County is holding their monthly meetings as well. Jefferson will be holding one tomorrow, matter of fact, at the Stone Grill at 6 o'clock. Harrison County has a new chair, Sean Bostock. He came back, he's originally a chair. I haven't had a chance to do a one-on-one person talk with him, but he is back. But he did have an issue where he has a broken neck, so he's got procedures going on with that. So he's not been able to hold anything currently at the moment. What kind was that? Sorry. That's what that again. What kind was that? Harrison. In Lawrence County, we did lose one member. His reasoning is we don't win, but I'm trying to convince him that he needs to think differently on that. We just had him win. We've tried it. We've all tried. Even Heidi has reached out to him. We are going to do the Halloween Safe Night this year again. Also, the Persimmon Festival parade will be September 30th, so it's the same day as the e-canvassing going on at Floyd's. So it's going to be a little bit hard for me to figure out where I can be at that day. Still holding our monthly meetings every month there. We'll also be doing the Christmas parade. Monroe County, of course, had held another convention. Sydney became the chair. She's been very active. Who's what she's doing? She's holding the farm. She's been going to the farm twice a month.
We did twice a month the first month, and then we're probably gonna do once a month. It'll depend on everybody's schedule.
So she's there with the booth, and other members there are helping her just get out the information, doing the quiz, even at a farmer's market. It's a good place to go. It's where you can see a lot of people. They were at the Monroe County Fair for the entire week, not last, but the week before, correct?
Yes.
And I got to visit there once. Tanya went twice. Greg went once. They had a lot of people taking the quiz. That board was filled with stickers. Like how many? I couldn't remember what you said here. 128 new contacts that they got there. So they done very well at the Monroe County Fair. So that's a great team in Monroe County, here in Monroe County.
That's time. That's to wrap it up.
That's honestly all I have at the current moment. Since I need to update my bank info from March to Mike.
2 things. We need Harrison County, and this is true for any county, when you have a change in the officers, they need to fill out the candidate affiliate update form. And then Chuck Hagerman will update them in Civi, create those relationships and roles, and then change it on the front page of the website. Second thing is have Mr. Hirsch and Mr. Brooksbank filled out the candidate form to be included on the website. If not, please get with the political director to make sure that gets done. All of our candidates need to be listed on the form because I guarantee you, even a podunk trash little once a month newspaper in your county is going to go to the state party website first to see if there's a candidate running in that county or even in that town. So they need to be accurate on the state party website first and foremost, because I will get an email or a phone call from a reporter asking who the candidates are there. And I can't say I have no earthly idea.
There's 100 people in AMO, and I can't get AMO on our.
Yep. Okay, before we take the 10-minute break, I'd turn my camera around. Okay, before we take the 10-minute break, would like to remind everybody that there is the Region 3 conference in Ohio starting on July 28th, I believe. Tickets are still on sale for that. And so if you can go, it would be a great opportunity. They have a lot of great training. It's more affiliate focused as opposed to candidate focused, but they have some great training. Don Rainwater is going to be the speaker. I told him that's not how you get people from Indiana to go. We've heard them all the time, but it'll be a great speech, I'm sure. There'll be other speakers as well, besides the great, wonderful Mr. Rainwater, but a lot of opportunity to network with the other affiliates. And I can tell you that we can have a better influence on the state parties by being engaged with them. We had some contention with Michigan, and if you'd like more information about that, you are more than welcome to talk to Miss Alexander, who was in the car when I was arguing.
Which one?
Kristen? Oh, no, the one recognized by national, about our region alternate appointment. There was some heated discussion. She can tell you that I can be a pretty hardcore advocate for our members and our people, and can scare the crap out of people when I need to. But so part of that is building those relationships so that they know us better, they know us, and maybe the good things that we do can filter out to the other struggling affiliates that should do better. Gotta throw mud on them a little bit there. So I do encourage everybody, if you can go, please do go. It'll be a fun time. With that, the time is 10:38 and we are recessing for a 10-minute break. 11:38. So please come back at 11:48. Thank you.
Now, I emailed the
Hold on one second. All of the attendees, I think we lost Blue Glomax. I think he had to log off. Ms. Coquillard, Mr. Smith, please check your email for an updated minutes from the secretary that we will consider when we come back from the break. All right, the time is 11:48. We are back in session.
Mr. Chair, I move to pull the treasurer and secretary reports from the table.
Okay, any objection to hearing the treasurer and secretary's reports at this time? Hearing no objection, we will start in order. Mr. Schultheis, are you ready with your treasurer's report?
As of July, we- the expensive.
But the only outstanding that we have is, we have our recurring costs, which are outlined in the budget, but the only outstanding payment we have is the tech-related one, correct? Okay, which the triple membership payments, if memory serves me, is 1,050. Okay, somewhere around there. Okay. Any questions for Mr. Schultheis? Ms. Avery,
Back to QuickBooks at any point.
has that happened yet? Have we switched back to QuickBooks yet?
Yeah, that's what she did. That's on my list of tasks to do.
I have more pressing tasks for him to do. Mhm. As long as we get it done before the 2024 convention, that'd be great. Any other questions for Mr. Schultheis? Okay, hearing none, moving on to the secretary's report, Mr. Clayton Schultz.
Yeah, so normal. I'll also say, the bylaws committee did have its first meeting this past week. I remember, it's also a member of the bylaws committee. So, that was exciting. Maybe thoughts or changes coming down the pipe there, but, now just look at the minutes. Make sure your names are in the right place, and specifically, I sent out the appendix A on the end of it that has the email ballot from June 22nd, started by the chair. So make sure that your vote is correct.
I'm going to give everybody the rest of this time. Let's do 3 minutes to look over those minutes really quick.
I think Michael is invisible on the map.
Be not in either. Yeah, you're right. Okay. So is that a motion to amend, Ms. Avery?
Yes. Well, the motion hasn't been made to accept them yet, so it could be amended.
Oh, okay, cool.
Actually, no.
Yeah, I
It
mean,
needs to be part of the record, otherwise it could be lost.
yes.
So I will accept your introduction to motion to approve the minutes from the May 20th SCC meeting with the email ballot appendix A. Is there a second?
Second.
Second, and then I will take Ms. Avery's motion to amend to include Mr. Schultz. Was it Mr. Schultz? Yes. Mr. Schultz, correction in the minutes. Did you recognize Mr. Schultz?
Yeah. And to.
I'm keeping the discussion.
Schulteis was present at May, right? Yeah.
Keeping the
Is there a second?
discussion open. Yes, it was seconded. I hear the 20.
Yeah, okay.
We're gonna say.
Copeland, good job.
Okay.
Yes. Johnson, I should go with what the chair says.
He's who I remember too.
Yeah, fair enough.
Which could have been a total not accurate, but that's my vague memory. If you see something that needs to be corrected, please just raise it.
Did the amendment pass without objection? Are we not even there yet?
Yeah. Is there any objection to this motion? So it's go clear Mr. Schulteis is present. Hearing no objection. Thank you. Has everybody gone through the minutes? Everybody's done? Are there any other amendments? Hearing none, is there any objection to adopting approving the minutes as amended? No objection, the minutes are approved.
And I'll email out the final version. Thank you.
Okay, next on the agenda is the appointment of a new vice chair with the very honorable resignation of Ms. Tanya Hudson. And just, I'd like to say briefly that while it may not be a requirement to resign, it's the best practice to resign as somebody who is going to be seeking an office that would be supported by the SCC and the state party, and that person having access to data and information that the other potential candidates would not have access to, makes it, even though the person, there's no one on this board that I believe, or that was immediately on the board that I believe would abuse their authority or misuse data to benefit their campaign. We know that other members may not, the public may not, and even other people seeking that same nomination may not. And so the best thing to do is upon making the announcement that you're seeking that office to step down. And Ms. Hudson graciously did it and gave me plenty of notice and is willing to help in the transition for the next person as much as humanly possible. So with that, I would open up the floor for nominations for the next vice chair. Mr. Lundy.
I would like to nominate Kristen Alexander. Before the county, she was a great support person for me. Together with be working very hard and very closely with our chair. Which is natural progression. 2-3 days a week, Kristen. You guys are already working closely together. I know she does great work. I know she works hard. That would be my suggestion.
Is there seconded by Mr. Kinzer? First question is, Ms. Alexander, do you accept the nomination? Okay. Are there any other nominations? Mr. Schulteis.
Not a nomination, but a question. Given the total change in roles for Ms. Alexander, what should the ship director would be?
Yeah, I was gonna say that, but Ms. Alexander's doing very important that I don't want to go. And Tanya is doing different, very.
May I?
Ms. Alexander.
So I spent the last 4 months convincing women to allow me to streamline the work that I've been doing, able to run my membership report. And I'm taking 16 hours a month for membership cards now. There are other things that I do the other day of the week. Emails, so I assure you that appointed to the vice chair position, none of that is because that's where I think. But anyway.
Are there any other nominations for vice chair? Anybody from the peanut gallery on Zoom? Okay, hearing no nominations, is there anybody who would want to speak for NODA? Hearing none. Okay. In that case, Mr. Secretary, we will still need to to do a roll call, even though there's only one nomination. And it is a yes, no.
All right. Starting with District 9. Aye. Aye. Kevin Johnson. Yes. 6 Max.
He's not up there present.
D5 Shillings.
Yes.
Yep.
D3 83.
Emphatically, yes.
D2 Cocoa.
Yes.
D1 Shillings.
Yes.
Smith.
Mr. Smith,
Yes.
Shelley Alexander.
she actually can't vote.
Really?
Yep.
Anna. Funny. IT Hagerman.
Yes.
Yes.
Treasurer Schulteis.
Yes.
Secretary Chair, this yes. Chair, Mr. Chair, you're voting.
Yes. And yes.
14 yes votes, 0 votes.
Congratulations, Miss Alexander. You are the new vice chair. If you would like to, as is custom, you can come sit up at the front of the table
Get your binder.
and get your binder.
Or you. Double binder.
Mr. Hagerman, if you could update the website. If you could update the website. Thank you.
I'm also updating.
Mr. Schulteis, if you can also have the membership email forward to the vice chair's email, and actually shit. Or I mean, shoot.
Just say, fix that and then let him go down.
Well, that's the website. Michael, fix the email for Kristen.
Just have one board, the other.
Yeah, but well,
Keep it separate, so
okay.
we do have to-
We do need to keep it separate in case we do end up having somebody else take over as membership director. Would you like to make a statement?
Thank you for the overwhelming confidence that I feel from all of you. I appreciate it. I hope that I can represent all 519 members the way that Tanya represented us, and I try not to let you down.
The next 3 items on the agenda are zoomed or zeroed out under teams. I do want us to have some poker tournament, and I would like to get the convention committee team or convention team to actually meet within the next week or two to talk about planning because of the things that we're going to talk about later in the meeting. And other than that, no comments, no questions. Next.
1 minute.
Any objection to Mr. Lundy speaking for 1 minute for the data team? Okay, hearing none, you have 1 minute.
I just wanted to give a shout out to Josh.
Oh, yeah.
He's not nearly as many doors by now, was about 2,119 doors with a 34% conversion rate, average rate of 3.8, speech record rate, conversations in order. Me and him combined is about 1,350. So he's really working hard down there. I just want to make sure he gets some. Yeah. That's it. That's all I have.
All right, thank you, Mr. Lundy. Unfinished business, 2023 elections. Do you have anything, Mr. Copeland, specific for the 2023 elections that you need to talk about?
No.
Are you raising your hand?
No.
No, okay, just stretching.
And we do have. I have nothing prepared.
Okay.
But yes, I will say congratulations to our to be elected.
The person running didn't give him information.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you copy over the motions from the email that I sent out? No, the email that I sent out that had the motions for this meeting. Can you bring that up? Okay, moving on to the next item on the agenda. D9, District 9 candidate support request from Mr. Darren Kinzer. The request was a written motion submitted to the SCC requesting $250 apiece for two different candidates in Floyd County running for the city council. Both of them? No, one of them's.
Yeah, may not. Council. Andrew Nicholson was running for.
Have the wording here.
Yes, if you can read the wording.
The LPIN shall donate $250 to Jeff Mayos for the nomination to campaign, $250 to Andrew Nicholson and New Allen City.
Hold on one second.
Josh.
Hold on. Are you moving your motion?
Moving it. Yeah, I want to.
Okay, so the motion's been made. Is there a second? Seconded by Ms. Schillings. Go ahead, Mr. Kinzer, you can speak on your motion.
I was just wanting to relay that Josh had reached out to me in reference to funding the other two candidates, the one car down there. He has offered to match those funds anyway, and I help those two candidates. So I will give them each $500 to John to help them continue on the rest of the one.
Have you gotten the things?
Information. Saw that, and I've got piece of it from Jeff. Andrew, I have not. Busy, and I told him to try to have it today, and that was this morning. I still haven't. So
Okay.
I'll give you the calendar.
Just FYI, if it's approved, that's the way it will be done. No check will be sent. Okay, okay.
Andrew Nicholson.
Is there any discussion, any questions for Mr. Kinzer on his motion? Ms. Avery,
Has the district funds already been used?
Mr. Schultheis. Don't believe so. No, not yet, but actually, if it's a direct candidate request, we don't use the district funds for that. Not to go directly to candidates. When did you do that in the past? Oh, well, that was a different regime. Mr. Lundy.
Just for information, I know I emailed this out, that Jeff Mayosh has been using the cancer and Andy Nichols is also trained to use the cancer. So, you know, they may be waiting on, or Andrew may be waiting on this money to get out, but they are trained in using the software.
I think under Tim, when we set up the district funds, we said that it wouldn't be used directly for candidates. It could be used if the county party was hosting an event that would benefit the candidate, that'd be fine, but not anything direct to a candidate for the district funds. That support should come directly from the entire board, if that makes sense. Any other question or comment? Okay, so the motion has been moved. Go ahead, Mr. Stoltz.
I mean, I'm curious to hear the treasury. I know we have some fairly big ticket items. Do you feel we're?
I think we don't have the iron house we have had. Additional.
Yeah.
Any other questions or comments? Okay, it will be a roll call vote. It's presented as one motion.
All right.
Somebody could always move to separate if they wanted to, but it was presented as one motion, so I kept it as one.
All right. Vice Chair Alexander.
That's your.
Vice Chair Alexander.
Yes.
It's not used to be operating budget order.
Secretary Solz. Treasurer Soltis. Yes. Local Director. Yes. IT Hagerman. Membership.
Yep.
Communications Smith.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Are you voting yes, or are you saying, yes, you can hear me?
All of the above.
Okay,
D1 Schiff.
Yes.
D2 Kolar.
Yes.
D3 Ingrid.
Yes.
D4 Lundy.
Yes.
D5 Schillings.
Yes.
D6 Woman's not here. D7 Johnson.
Yes.
D8 Engelberg. Yes. D9 Kinzer. Mr. Chair.
I will be voting and I will vote yes.
So there's 13 yes votes and 2 abstentions.
Okay. So make sure we get that information.
I'll work on it.
Okay,
That's it.
get that to the treasurer as soon as possible. Next item on the agenda is request from the membership director for additional triple membership pins. We are actually almost out of them. You all received the quote from Wizard Pens, which is who we've gotten our pens from in the past. That was who did the first order. The motion was for 500 pens for $727.60. I do want to let you guys know that the cost for 1,000 pens, double the amount of pens, is only $300 more. It's $1,070. Exactly $1,070. So if somebody wanted to amend the motion to make it 1,000, that would be. But first, we need to read the motion into the. Can you read the motion into the record, Mr. Solz, Secretary Solz?
Moved by then membership director Alexander. Authorize the reorder of 500 subscription membership against funds against at a cost of $727.60.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Solz seconded. You can't second your own motion. Any discussion? Ms. Avery?
What was our additional amount of pins that we got?
We got 300 and it's been a year and a half.
Do we anticipate changing the design of these pins in the future?
No.
Then I would like to amend them.
Okay, what's your amendment?
As past saving forward, keep these on store to amend it to be 1,000 pieces and save ourselves $300.
So the motion is to amend it to 1,000 pieces for a cost of $1,070. Is there a second? Seconded by Mr. Copeland. All those in favor, is there any discussion about the amendment? Mr. Shea.
I just, so 300 lasts a year and a half.
Mhm.
1,000 will last.
Depends.
4 years.
We've been starting to push for the triple membership. So
And they're going out monthly.
But am I mostly thinking, right?
No.
Like is 1,000, like a 3, 4, 5 year, 5?
probably 2 to 3 years. That'd be my estimate. Yeah, that would, I mean, if we can get it to be a year, that would hit our, actually, that wouldn't even hit our goal for how many we need to become our own region. If all our national members were triple members. Okay, so that was Mr. Schick's question. I don't know, it's just. Yeah.
As someone who orders multiple thousands of things for people to see, it is easier for them to set it up and write it all at once. Just to tear down, reset, and then have to use the lines. Just a more efficient manufacturing process, so they can pass.
Also, since this is a reorder, they already have everything already done, so there's nothing for us to approve. Yep. Yep. Oh, well, no. So that's the original price. That is if you order one pen
Oh, okay.
is $7.59. If you just order one. So that's the discount is if we get more than that, then it's, so this ends up coming out to basically $1 because this cost also includes shipping and sales tax. So it's just $10.70. So it's $1 a unit plus $70 in sales tax.
Do you recall what the price was?
I do not, but it was,
There's probably more. Isn't it?
it was, but we also ordered the Lifetime and the 94 Society at the same time. So it's like, but I can't quite remember. Mr. Hagerman.
Would it be worthwhile to look at those?
No, we've got plenty. Any other discussion? Ever, it's right here, right here. And that is a thing that I hope I get to do, which is to pen the last pen, like before we move to a new design. Like I would like to do that. That'd be great. So Ms. Schilling's amendment is on the floor. All those in favor of Ms. Schilling's amendment? Does anyone need it restated? No. All those in favor say aye. Give a second for the Zoom.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, all those opposed say nay. Okay, the amendment passes. Back to the main motion. The main motion is now to approve.
Authorize the reorder of 1,000 people membership in a cost of $1,007.
Is there any discussion on the main motion? Okay, hearing none, because this is $1,000, it does require a roll call vote.
Kinzer,
Just over.
Nate Ward, 87 Johnson. Yes. 5 Shillings.
Yes.
4 Lundy.
Yes.
3 Avery.
Yes.
2 Kokovar.
Yes.
1 Schick. Yes. Communication Smith.
Yes.
IT Hageman. Yes. Clerk Copeland.
Yes.
Treasurer Schultheis.
Yes.
Secretary Schultz. Yes. Vice Chair Alexander.
Yes.
Chair.
Yes.
That's 15 yes.
They are. Thank you, guys. Next item on the agenda is outreach materials. This was sponsored by Christy Avery, spelled wrong. Before we get to that, though, I will mention that I have a roll of the World's Smallest Political Quiz posters, if anybody needs them. And out in the back of Kristen's car in the parking lot out here, we have the reorder of the World's Smallest Political Quizzes. So anybody who needs them after the meeting, we will go out and follow her and take them. I only ordered 100 packs, and there's 100 cards per pack, so that's 10,000 cards. So, but don't, so don't be greedy. Yeah. But if we do need to order more, the production time on that was originally, I had ordered it the morning of the day that you guys said you needed cards. I had just like that morning at 9 a.m. put the order in. And it was supposed to be delivered July 12th. I know, Danny did. I know. Yeah, whatever.
And that's July 14th. It was high content.
Yeah, it was July 3rd, and the production was supposed to be July 12th. I got them July 7th. They were delivered. And I was shocked. I was not prepared. Like all of a sudden, I got a message from the company that said, congratulations, your shipping has been updated, or it's your package is coming sooner. At the exact same time, I got, congratulations, your package has been delivered. they came at the same time, it went ding, ding, and I'm like, what's this? Oh, okay. Oh, cool. Oh, it's scheduled for today. That's awesome. And then I look at it and I'm like, oh, it was just delivered. And I walk outside and they're all stacked up by my door. All the boxes, I had to carry them in because no one else was home. It was tragic. Okay, Miss Avery, the floor is yours. You can start the clock now, Mr. Johnson. You didn't start the clock, did you?
I did.
Okay, you can restart it now.
Yeah, I was just wondering what kind of outreach materials that were available. What people are using, what we give the comments on. I know the things from our classes that got in Oregon County. So for this, we were popular. We had some those pocket constitutions that we gave out, those were very popular. Just looking for what is
So I've put a couple of requests out in the 94 Society over the past couple of years for topics for outreach materials that are state specific that can match the same, that we would match with the same branding to look like the ones National has. Because I think you had a national trifold at the Allen County Fair. Yeah. I think that one is the current one, actually, the trifold. Okay. Oh, it was Whitley County. Yeah. We never really got much buy-in from the people in the 94 Society Facebook group on topics other than property taxes and gun rights. And gun rights now, for most of the state outside of Indianapolis and South Bend and maybe Fort Wayne, isn't as a priority because we have constitutional carry in the state. And I know, talking to other people around the state, yeah, we don't have. Oh, you already did that? Oh, okay, that's not the one that they had at the thing. That's not. That's okay. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean, okay, cool. I think we have a designer that could do better.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Did they steal it from us? Oh, okay.
That's amazing.
Anyway.
Apparently he thinks he can do better.
Well, the white box is meant to put.
A county sticker on it, yeah.
Yeah,
Yes, that's the one they had at National. But I'd like to get us our own branded things, but the things that we need are the topics. What's working? Trifolds, and hey guys, trifolds, rack cards, tip cards, branded business cards for everybody. We've made the template available on Canva so anybody can grab the state party's business card template and then just add their own information and send them off to get printed themselves.
Where can you find them?
On Canva. And it's in the resource link that I gave out a while ago that had all of the graphics that people were asking for. It's in that same thing. Sure, absolutely. Okay. Yeah, it's there. And yeah, other than that, like banners, we can provide state party banners and have those, but like I think counties would rather have their own county party banner. No, I don't think so. And it's formatted a little differently. But so I guess the thing, like the homework assignment that I would want to give is you guys go home, talk to your counties, ask them what outreach materials they would like for the state party to at least have available for them to get. We can't just give away a whole bunch of outreach kits, but we can at least order them in bulk and have them available for a cheaper price than Morgan County.
That's true.
We just cut it out.
Exactly. We could totally not do that at all.
We have welcome to the competition. But, Clayton, did you have a question?
Yeah, I'm making notes as though the third motion is coming up. And is there a motion on the third?
No. Okay, nope. The motion for discussion is the next
I
topic.
have an actual comment.
Mr. Lundy.
So just because you're asking for ideas, one of the things we're doing kind of this community more to the same postcard. That after we talk to somebody at an event, an outreach event, if they gave us an address. With a level of postcards, thank you for the time and have introduced. One of the reasons why we're going to draft is one of the things we wanted to do was pull together the black part of the tribal of some type that focuses on local county level issues. It's easy to get a bunch of national issues. It's easy to talk about a bunch of state issues. That's all anybody talks about. We want something that talks about like property taxes is a good one, right? You know, topic. This is anything that I have a list of Morgan County that's local issues that was what it comes to number of names or things that happen locally, streaming meetings, making sure meetings are at 9 a.m. on Mondays, 10, things of that nature that we care about, and I think are somewhat universal. I mean, obviously, in Marion County, it's stream anyway, if they have their TV station or whatever, but try to focus local, I think we're good.
Go ahead, Ms. Schillings. Yes.
And then let's say in Tampa, some other universally accessed kind of site. That there's now a section where your text.
Yep.
That you can do that. It's like, here's local topics that affect you in Allen County, or in Morgan County.
Yep.
And then here's our contact.
Backyard chickens is a huge topic in some places.
Yes.
So like the state party producing a backyard chicken pamphlet or rack card isn't a great use of our resources. But if we provided a template and said, here's this, by the way, here's a list of resources that you can go to get these printed from. You know, like some of the things we use, some online vendors, the postcards that we have printed for the state party are printed locally in Indianapolis. And so like those types of things, and like even an explanation, like here's a picture of exactly what you want to order. This is the card stock you want to use. This is exactly what it is. Right, because if you go there and you try to order it, you're like, well, what card stock do I use? Because if you get glossy card stock, you're not going to be able to write on that postcard. So it's, you know, that we could definitely do that. But I'd like everybody to go home and think about and talk to your counties about what materials they would like to be available. And please say that, don't say provided by, say available by the state party. And then we will make those happen. Yeah, we need to get new tents.
I have an idea on how.
We need to get a new motion for that. Yeah, that didn't work out. Yes.
I didn't think so.
Yeah. Yes.
I don't have one either.
They're garbage.
Okay.
They're garbage. Actually, I think the one up in the second district, like Kosciuszko still uses theirs and it's held up well.
I just use a little bit.
Mhm.
Was there any updates on the- back and forth on where the content?
Yeah, they're a Chinese company. And no, so they weren't expensive. They were like $150 each was my memory of it. Hold on. We passed a motion to order the branded tents for like, it was like 4,000, but we never ordered them. So that's, no, that was after. We passed the motion after. Because those tents were, the ones that we got were broken and messed up. That was, we did a second motion for that later. So it's something that we can revisit and I can get pricing to try to. Yes. Can you remind me to do that? Okay. Okay.
If you're a bigger district, 8 can bring it, if I'm right.
Yep. Theirs were incredibly expensive though. District 8's tents were really expensive. Yes. Not that much, though. That was the thing. It ended up being, because we contacted them and priced it out with them, and it was really expensive. Plus, they had increased their pricing because of supply chain and shipping problems. So it was really expensive to go with that company. But I will check to see if that pricing has gone down. Okay, next item is the LPI candidate training. Can you read the motion, sir?
Yes. Authorize the chair of the LPIN to partner with the Libertarian Policy Institute for a joint candidate training and recruitment event to be held in Indianapolis the second weekend of November 2023. Chair is authorized to make expenditures for this event for the venue rental, speaker travel and lodging, and meals for attendees not to exceed $7,000. That's not what the record shows. Interesting.
Is there, to get to discussion, is there a second on the motion? Seconded by Mr. Hagerman. The discussion was that we already had a meeting with LPI. We talked about it. The goal is, and Nick Sarmark will be working with me on this to get sponsors, as well as the ticketing will go directly through us. So they'll be ticketed through our website. So we hope to get enough sponsors to drastically offset that. I went above what their estimated budget was, even though I believe that their estimated budget for the larger attendee number is actually pretty high. Like their venue cost was like $1,500, and I think we can get that down to $500. So there's a lot of other ways that I think that would be saving, but I wanted to just round up from where they were on their budget for the larger one. Ms. Avery.
I was unclear if their station did more than one meal or.
It was just one meal with like beverage service and things like that. Oh, maybe it did have breakfast as well. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Did they have breakfast, lunch, and dinner?
Did it? Maybe it did. Maybe it did. Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll cut that down to. Oh, it might be. Well, breakfast can be fruit and pastries on the bar. I can't have any of those. I'm just saying I can't. Nope. Hopefully. Hopefully. No. Mr. Shea.
Who is the training open to?
So it is by invitation, through email. So it's through us. But it's for candidates and people that we would like to be candidates, people that we're recruiting for. There will be some other people from other states coming because they're supporters of LPI, and they're people that will be purchasing tickets. So it will offset that cost, but it will be 90%, if not more, people from Indiana. Okay. Hold on, Mr. Schulteis.
Is $7,000 in the ceiling?
Yes. No. No. That's the ceiling for the cost. Mr. Kinzer.
Give me a second.
Okay, Ms. Schillings. That was what I just said. We're going to try to get sponsors, and then selling the tickets. Yeah.
So this would be just for candidates, though, they also like people are on the candidate managers, stuff like that too as well.
I would say no. This is mostly going to be for candidates. I mean, it could be for campaign managers.
We need more campaign.
Yeah, I think that's reasonable. I would say though, that if it is a campaign, they should just send one person, like the campaign manager, not both the campaign manager and the candidate, if that makes sense. It's, I mean, we're hoping to be able to pack the place and run out of. But if we're running out of if we're running out of seats, that's an issue, because I'd rather have somebody from two campaigns as opposed to two people from one campaign. I do. Oh, we only have, well, it'll only be 50. We could raise it up, but that increased our costs. So like, if we get this settled and we get it up and running by the beginning of September, like we get all our contracts and everything signed and we're locked in, the food portion, the meals, that can always grow because you can always talk to the caterer and add more seats. The venue can't get any bigger than what it is. Now, that location could handle more than 50 people. I think that one space alone could handle probably 100. That one room. So we could increase if we sell out the end of September. We could add more seats if we wanted to. It's a possibility, but it's an option. Let me put it that way. Miss Avery.
You said it would be invitation only, so would people apply for it? And we only
Yes,
invitations to people?
correct.
Who's gonna curate that?
We do.
What you?
Yeah, as in the state party, but it's done automatically. It'll be a form on the website. So we send it out to anybody that we know is running, anybody that we are trying to recruit. We send it out as a contact blast as well. And then it's kind of screened. Michelle. As in, are you able to, or are you saying free, or are you? Yes, you would be invited to be able to attend, but everybody would need to purchase a ticket, such as even me. I'm not, I may be speaking, but probably not. When I was talking to them about this, I was offering to go to other states, but I said, well, I've got great insight and great information. I'm not a draw in Indiana. Everybody can hear me talk for free anytime they want. So let's get other people. Now I'm never coming. But so I'm not going to be a speaker, so I'll be purchasing my own ticket to be there. Mr. Johnson.
Well, it maybe be like the next step, but what's the strategy to expand the list of who we're inviting, or besides an email blast, or target specific areas? I guess on what that's
I don't know at this time. That's something that we're going to sit down and work out with LPI, because part of this is also a strategy for candidate recruitment. So it's getting these people to come to get them to become a candidate and then to be on a branded message statewide. Mr. Kinzer.
I was just going to go back to my last question in reference to the amount of people. If all of us just would hypothetically bought a ticket, by almost half of that amount of people who would have the candidates in the rooms, like, so I'm like a little more understanding to that.
So even at the convention, we set aside a different set of tickets for SCC members. So we have the ticket goals that we want to sell. We do not include SCC members in that.
So this would be offset.
It would be an additional 2, right? Any other questions? I'm not, but I will be taking attendance. Mr. Schultz.
I mean, how does this? This feels maybe a little redundant, as like the regional training that was meant to us for doing islands. I mean, what? I was at the meeting, but how is this different? Is it a good resource for doing both?
Well, the Ohio thing is for affiliates. That's not primarily focused on candidates. That's a focus on building up a strong state party and for county party building, not campaigning. This is also part of this goal is recruiting these candidates and showing them that they're going to have backing and support, and then also creating a branded message. And it's key to get everybody in the room to learn about, like if we're talking about, I'm going to use backyard chickens as an example, even though it's not going to be a legislative issue. But if they're hearing about the backyard chickens and they're agreeing to make that one of their 3 things that they're going to talk about, it's a whole lot easier to do that way than to have Paul Copeland send them an email saying, hey, we think backyard chickens should be top of your priority list. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And by having that branded message, there's a lot more resources we can also provide to the candidates if we're able to bulk print pamphlets that match those that can now be picked up by any of our candidates because they match. Does that make sense? So that's the goal of this, is to recruit and train these candidates, but also to get them on the same branded message. It's that you're going to make these your 3 things. Any other questions? Okay, so the motion is on the table. Obviously, this goes to a roll call vote. Yep.
Can you restate the motion real quick?
Yeah, I'll read the motion. Authorize chair of the LPIN and partner with the Independent Policy Institute for a joint candidate training and recruitment event to be held in Indianapolis the 2nd weekend of November 2023. Chair is authorized to make expenditure for this event, venue rental, speaker, travel, and lodging, and meals for attendees not to exceed $7,000. Vice Chair Alexander.
Yes.
Secretary Schultz. Yes. Treasurer Schultz. That's what I should have. I see here. Communication.
Yes.
You want to share?
Yes.
D2 Copeland.
Oh, Paul Copeland is here. He's
Yes.
on Zoom.
Oh, sorry, my bad, Paul. Yeah. And you vote yes.
Yes, I vote yes.
Sorry. D2 Copeland.
Yes.
D3 Avery.
Yes.
D4 Lundy.
Yes.
D5 Shillings.
Yes.
Same. D7 Johnson. Yes. D8 Engleworth. Yes. D9 Kinsler. Very good. Mr. Chair.
I will vote in yes.
Wait for Mr.
Abstain.
Yeah, no vote.
All right. That is 14.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so that motion passes. At this time, we'll go ahead without objection. We'll move to announcements. And then we will not be adjourning publicly. We will retire to executive session, or we'll adjourn in executive session. Since there's no other item other than announcements, and it's difficult with Zoom to reconvene from executive session.
But the public minutes will reflect.
Yes. So are there any announcements, Miss Avery?
And Liberty International World Conference in Spain. Is next month. And I think it's already paid for his passport and the flights to it. Not sure if they're reimbursing him afterwards or if there's other reimbursing him, but I would definitely like to ask. Effort to eat while he's over there and do any kind of fun things and go to a bookstore, I'm sure.
So the things we need to know is how much he needs and how to make that contribution.
I have a PayPal cash app that I could send out. I'll put it shipping against free.
Okay.
He didn't say how much.
If you can ask him how much he actually needs, because
You gotta make that.
yeah,
I didn't hear, but I did receive an email last week from Liberty International saying they still had available scholarships. I don't know if he's explored that option to getting it fully funded.
he's on the scholarship, but he still has like per diem costs, and he had to pay for things up front that then get reimbursed.
I think only part of it was covered, like he only got a partial for second place, but I don't know. I just know that they have other scholarships for full
Okay.
scholarship, so.
Can somebody go find Michael? Yeah, if he's in the shitter, can you drag him out? Are there any other announcements? Okay, hearing no announcements at this time, we will be moving in, and the time is 12:46, and at this time we will move into executive session. So if everybody can leave the room. Thank you, everybody. Okay, everybody on the Zoom meeting, I'm going to stop the live broadcast. For
Nice seeing you.
this. Thank